واحد اثنين ثلاثة.
Why settle for two?
when third time is the charm.
Welcome to the tripod.
Hello, marhaba. It's yours truly, happily, and I don't know, gracefully, the three people, the triplets you never knew you needed. This today, I'm always rejoice. Who are you, the next person?
Who am I? I am who I am. I'm ZEREDA.
I'm Byron.
Okay.
Yes.
Byron and ZEREDA, how are you guys doing?
I'm happy. I think I've been on a roll with peace. I like where I'm at. I'm feeling more productive. I don't feel like I'm wasting my life. I think I used to go to work and I'm just like, what did I do? But these days I feel like I have more purpose. So that's where I'm at.
Okay.
Mhm.
Mister?
I'm doing good. I'm doing okay. Generally, all is good.
We've
All
really
is good.
We've really rebranded.
Rebranded.
It's no longer saying I'm fine. He
Yeah.
has added something on top.
I'm doing okay.
Anyways, I'm also happy. I'm fine. Anyway, so.
Your makeup looks really good, by the way.
Merci.
Yeah.
Oh,
If you're looking for makeup services, Rejoice is definitely available.
amen.
Yeah.
So,
Mm.
it's such a beautiful day. Whenever we come and record, it's a beautiful day. Have you people noticed? So, on my
Because I'm here.
me too. Because
Okay, I hear you.
Byron is
I
just
hear you.
there.
I hear you.
Anyways.
The
So
fly on the
today-
wall. Sorry.
We're going to talk about a topic that is not really so nice, but you don't always have to talk about the nice things. We have to get out of our comfort zone. So today we've taken that step. And we're talking about something not so nice, let me say. Bullying. Have you ever been bullied, Byron?
I don't remember.
Oh.
For real.
Byron.
I think. No.
Not even in P2?
Maybe indirectly. I was someone vocal since primary, I think so. So we were those who are the favorites and the vocal people in school. Even in senior one, I immediately joined, and my friends were senior fours, so no one would bully me in high school.
So that small short boy in senior one was befriending big boys
We were
in form four.
then another thing, I was from the city,
City boy.
so that was an advantage.
He's just flexing at this
City
point.
So that was
boy.
an advantage.
Uh-huh.
We were the ones who were
Bullying others.
no, I was not bullying others. We were the ones with the say in the school.
Oh, Byron. It's giving you indirectly bullying people. And
I did not
Exactly.
bully
you
people.
thought it was authority.
I was a
You
good
did
boy.
okay.
I was a good boy in school.
You were
Because I
intimidating.
was a prefect from Form 1 and other things. So
Prefects were the ones
Form
who
1, 2,
bully
3,
people
4.
the most.
Even Rejoice.
No.
We're all prefects.
Yeah, even me.
I was
a
a pro student prefect.
What is that?
He's
Is
pro
it a-
students.
Yeah.
Like whatever the students want, he aligned with it.
We were always, because we are there to represent. Most of the prefects, once they are put there, they mostly just support what the administration wants. But I was of the thought that I'm there to represent the needs of the students.
So you were
So-
notorious.
Eh?
Notorious.
Yeah, we were those who are removed from the position because
He was siding
because
with
of
that.
that, because of our stand. Yeah, so I never really experienced
So
bullying.
Z,
It's giving good man.
have you ever been bullied?
Absolutely.
Me
Without
and
a
you
shadow of doubt.
Tell me.
Absolutely. I think now I've owned it. So I think before it was such a, oh my God, imagine I was bullied. Imagine like people are evil. But I think I was bullied because one, it was to sharpen me, and two, because I'm exactly who they were afraid I'd become.
Bullying was to sharpen you.
Yeah. I know it sounds off, but I feel as the side effects, like how I arose above it, is what was sharpening. And also it just proved that the person they were afraid of, which is just me reiterating myself, I became. Yeah, because I think I was bullied for foolish reasons. Very foolish. Like when I look back, I'm just like, jealousy doesn't have a name at the time. Because I think the first time being bullied was when I moved schools. And it was because I was no longer with my siblings. Because I grew up with like my siblings. We went to the same school. So, my sisters, my brothers are like
always protecting in
they were
school.
watching out for me. No, you're touching who? And then now I think when I moved schools, it was just something foolish. Like just, oh, you think your hair is long, your hair is not even long. Just foolish stuff. And, or being isolated. People are like, oh, we don't want to be friends with you because you're dumb, you're not smart, or things like that.
You were
Yeah.
dumb.
There is a time when someone thought you were dumb.
Yeah.
Z.
And I wasn't even slacking, but because of all of that, I think there's a quote that says when people start telling you, the more people start telling you something, you start to become it. You just start to like abide by the common saying. So yeah.
Me, I don't think I've. They tried bullying me, but then I gave it back 10 times. They tried. I remember back in high school, the time they used to call me Hitler. Me. You try me. You know how you be when you're a new student? People try to...
Yeah.
Like, my dear, they didn't know what was coming for them. And in Uganda, they had this thing that South Sudanese can fight. And actually, I don't... this is ruining my reputation. I can't really fight like that. But then, because they said South Sudanese can fight, my lord, I gave those kids sleepless nights. If my high school mates, if they see this, or my roommates. But anyway, now that we're grown, bullying has presented itself in so many ways. In workplaces, people are being bullied in marriages. Me, I consider GBV as bullying. Any form of violence, I consider it as bullying. We're being bullied at home. We're being bullied on the street. We're not even experiencing things in Juba like gang groups are everywhere, killing. And this one is worse. So what's your... I don't want to say what's your take, but how do you feel about this whole situation in general?
I think Byron can take
About
that
bullying itself?
About bullying generally, online.
Obviously, it just reflects someone's character. And one thing you come to realize, most of the people who are bullies, they're running away from something or hiding from something.
Yeah, I feel like whoever bullies people is just not loved.
Yeah, that's it. Running away from something or trying to cover up or hide something. Most of the bullies. And one thing is, most of them, when you actually really, really stand against whatever they are doing, they back down. It's just that I think they use the because you'll find most of them are people, maybe they feel they have big body than you, so they feel they can. So it's just I always say, personally for me, I've really not encountered it.
So you can't.
So I can't really speak to it so much, but I know and I've heard and read of how people are bullied even at workplaces. I think one thing about me is that I'm too proud to be bullied. I'm too proud to be bullied. I'll know you can beat me, but you'll not bully me. I'll know you can beat me, but you will not. I will not give you that chance. That one, I think that is just me since from when I was young. Because you'll find maybe, there you have just said, maybe in school I had a small body, but still, there are those of us who don't know how to fight physically, but with words you can put you down.
You?
So I'm good with words. I'm good with
Ah.
words. I can put you down with words properly. So I think it helped me a lot. Then I was so vocal. Being smart also helps. Being smart,
Yeah,
people,
you look like
being,
you were
people
smart
love being
kid.
around people who are smart.
Yeah.
So I think that is what has really helped me around all the spaces that I've been. But I always say, if anyone, actually, I don't know if anyone has ever tried. I'm trying to remember. because I feel if anyone would ever try to bully me,
You would put them in your place.
I'm too proud for that. That's what I'll say. I'm too proud for that.
I feel like my question, like even before I give my take, would be where do you think the genesis of that is for you? Like when did that pride? Because ideally it actually looks like some form of protection as opposed to you're just proud, but like you can't really put me down like that.
I don't know. I think it just came naturally. I don't know. I don't know if I'd say it's how I was raised, because I'm trying to look at it. I don't see if there's a particular way I was raised that would make me, because one thing, my mom is very soft-spoken, same to my dad. So I'm really
And
trying.
you came out like this.
That's why I'm telling you, it's really hard for me, because you see, like now, then I think there are things that really don't get to me. You see, like you'll find you are short. For me, that was nothing. Like that one would. It's not something that you would tell me and I'll feel like that was nonsense to me. Oh, you see, at least here, the dark complexion is something normal. You see, in Kenya, it's something that people would use to maybe to try and put you down.
Yeah.
I tell people for the longest time, I've never ever been affected with someone telling me that I'm dark. I don't think if there was a day I've ever felt, I think I've never ever. So the things that people would use to bully me, I'd already accepted, and I'm like, it's normal.
Yeah.
What's so strange about it? So I think it helped me really to guard myself from feeling bad or people using it against me for me to feel that I'm being bullied. So if you said it, I'll find something to counter back on you, and mine will be real and will really hurt you. And actually, me, when you try it, I'll make sure I'll leave you hurt. Not physically, but emotionally. Emotionally, I'll leave you out. I'm not a bully myself.
It's giving
but
emotional bully
I will not start it, but once I realize that is what you're trying to do, I'll make you regret starting that.
Wow. Damn. I think I've learned there's a lot. But I think, like I said, I was bullied. And I think what you said that was powerful is that your people who may have had that intention were dumb because they didn't know where to hit. You know, when you're trying to point out something about someone and it's not something that they really care about, you've already lost. Like 80% of whatever you're trying to do, you've already lost. And they can combat the 20% because they're just like, now may I know what you're insecure about, and I'm going to take that and use it as power. I think for earlier on, it really sucked. And I think before I didn't know the term, but because I didn't live with my parents, it didn't mean I was not loved. My siblings love me a lot. But I think people pleasing was introduced to me very early. It's like maybe if I'm a little bit nicer, if many people like me and stuff like that, it means that people will stay. That was the logic. And I think many of the time, so in the beginning, I'd just be very open to everyone. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, hi, tarara, you just kind of want to banter. But then you don't actually know that some kids were just not loved at home or whatever. Because when I was looking back at it, I was thinking, nothing made you better than... There's no such thing as someone is better than you. We're going to the same school. I'm paying more fees than you, by the way, because I'm considered a foreigner. So my fee structure is way different from yours. We go with the same.
That happens?
Yeah.
I paid almost double the school fees on our campus. In Uganda, for high school, you all pay the same, but campus.
Why?
Because you're
an international student.
Okay, that's new to me.
Yeah, we pay a lot of, like our parents are, shout out to parents.
Yeah, I paid double the fees of normal students.
I only learned after, because my sister is on who used to get the cash and then go and
even
pay.
in high school.
Yeah.
Even in high school.
In Kenya, in high
No,
school?
but in high school, the high schools I went to were pretty...
Because maybe for university, I wouldn't be sure, but for high school, I'm sure the fee is standard.
But you say... But foreigners just pay more. Yeah. It's even now is when I'm realizing, the term foreigner is strong. But I think, for me, it was just people pleasing. So they just wanted to knee-jerk me, like, we don't like you. And that's the moment you want to be accepted. And like I said, it's foolish things like your hair is not even that long. when I'd like go to school with open hair, or they made up such a rumor. Actually, I'm so like, I think, Junubin was so affectionate when you're growing up. Like the aunties kiss you on the cheek and things, such a normal thing. It was nothing hectic. So I think something like that happened in school or something of the sort. And girls are just like, oh my gosh, she's a lesbian. I had never, ever had that term in my life. I went home, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I need a dictionary. And I think as a person who's experienced bullying, it's not cute. It's not something lighthearted that you can just talk about it casually. And at that time, you're being bullied, not online, but real time. Like, there are just things you don't want to go to school, and your family doesn't, you don't know how to tell your family.
Why you don't want
school, to go? Yeah. I don't mind the teachers, I don't mind the education. The people are just unkind. Then they segregate you. Nobody wants to sit next to you. Nobody wants, and it forces you to like, you need to be your own person. You need to create the impression that you actually like being on your own, but in essence you've just been rejected. And I think primary school is where it really stung, because it was such a new concept.
And children are so
cruel,
mean.
Children are mean, my lord.
And I don't know, most schools say that they have not tolerance for bullying, blah blah, but then they're always bullying people in schools.
And I think mostly private schools also.
And then there is something that I've noticed most of people saying, that bullies, maybe they're people who are not loved at home, blah blah blah. So it all goes back to where you come from as a person. So meaning that parents play a very huge role on how their kids turn out, how they relate with others in settings like schools, areas and things like that.
Then, some people use it as a form of hiding away from their insecurities.
Exactly. And I feel like bullies are always, I don't know, there is this term, not coward.
They are cowards.
They are cowards, but there is a worse.
You want to find a meaner term?
Yes, a meaner term. But most bullies are actually cowards. And once you stand up for yourself, because I remember there is this scenario when we were in senior 1. I started in this school, and I was really young, by the way. I think I joined senior 1 when I was like 12. Yeah, and I was much smaller. So when we joined, these girls, they were, I think, in Form 2 or something. These girls would come in the morning, and we had to get our own water. So you get your own water to shower in the morning. These girls would come, pick your water while you're watching, and go. Me, when it comes my turn, I pour the water when you're watching. Let both of us go to class without bathing, instead of you taking my water. If not, they would come, and then they just ask you for your keys. They'd come bed to bed. Give us your keys. They take, they eat. They don't take with them anything. They just eat because they know they're going to come back. When it comes to my turn, I just throw the key through the window. Let both of us be hungry. What do you mean you want to
take from me?
And then I went, because at the time my uncle used to be the head teacher. So I went to his office crying, "Uncle, these kids are doing this to me." What? At that time, imagine what this man told me. This is life. Go back to class. If I wanted to die. From that time, I decided I'm going to stand up for myself. And I remember they even called me mosquito or something. Because me, I would not keep quiet for you. And when they realized that, they backed off from the whole dormitory. Like, they didn't come disturbing us again because they knew. So I feel like if you shrink yourself, these people actually, they're also scared of you. That's why they're coming at you. They feel like when they hit fast, they will what?
They weaken you earlier.
But then if you retaliate, there is nothing they can do for you. So now there is this thing also. I feel like bullying is worse on social media because there is the aspect of, how is it called?
Anonymity?
Yes. Because now I see a lot of people, especially on platforms like Facebook, you can reply anonymously. So people write a lot of cruel things that they cannot say in person, or they feel more comfortable saying these things to you when they're not being known, when their identity is hidden. I feel like it has made it worse. What's your take on that?
I think it's true. Because when you look at the hate that people have on social media, you just realize that people are just wicked. Woo. I always go through some comments of maybe celebrities or whatever, or just even normal people, and you see the type of comments that people make, even about just someone's appearance, someone, and I'm like, wow. People are hurt because they say hurt people.
Valid.
These are just hurt people. These are people who are going, and I think a lot of people, that is where they channel their stress to. Their stress, now they just go and pour it out on strangers, abusing people on social media. Because why will I jump into someone's comment and start abusing them? Like, it's really fun. It really shows that you are broken. There is something wrong with you. Because even someone that I know personally, it's really hard for me to maybe say some vile comments towards them. What about someone that I don't know? Because so it just shows you. And I think the problem is also us trying to look for a lot of validation from people on the internet. That is what is also causing a lot of this. Because I think I've been in social media since the inception. I think I've been on Facebook from 2009.
Sir.
I've been on Instagram from 2011 or 20. No, Instagram, I think 2013, 14 or 15 there. I don't remember quite well. TikTok is where
Fairly
I joined. I joined a little bit late. Actually, from the inception, I did not like TikTok. I was never interested, but I joined later. But I've never, ever experienced hate on social media, personally. I'm not saying it's not there. It's really there. But I think I've really tried to guard the people that are
have
around me,
access.
even on social media. But the problem you find with social media right now, we just want a lot of followers, and these people that you are bringing into your space. Not everyone is good. Not everyone will love you, because you see one thing about social media: you're sharing your life. You're just posting about your life most of the time, all the things that you're doing, and not everyone is happy with it. You are posting that you bought a car and someone doesn't have a meal. Comes and pours the frustrations on you. They'll text you, can you send me £100? When you say you don't have, and someone starts abusing. So I think it's also the need for opening. Sorry, not the need, but the fact that we are opening our space to a lot of people. I think that is also, we are all opening ourselves to a lot of critique, a lot of abuse. People, but social media right now is really messed up.
But
I've seen people committing suicide because of such.
Yeah.
True.
You see,
Yeah.
and you see, not everyone has got what is it called?
Tough skin.
A tough skin. There are some people who will go through the comments. They read, hey, you are, look at you. They start being depressed, and that's why you find people committing. So me, I always say, actually, if you don't have the skin for social media, don't go there thinking that everyone who is following you loves you.
But then now, I feel like we're at a time, however much people are cruel and people are wicked, I feel like we're at a time when people are more enlightened on things like compassion, empathy, positivity, self-worth. Like, you see a lot of these videos and things like that on social media. A lot of self-acceptance, self-awareness. So many people are talking about body positivity, a lot of good things. And I feel like it's really embarrassing for me to see someone writing a negative comment, especially on someone's picture. Hey, you're very dark. I feel like, isn't it embarrassing for you to be saying that? You've never heard of kindness. You've never heard of compassion. You've never heard that you're not the one who created yourself.
Yeah.
Like, it's really embarrassing. Like, I'm embarrassed on their behalf. And I feel like I've also tried so hard to guard myself. Like now, back in the days, I felt like the more friends you had on Facebook, the better
The more
experience
popular you
would
are.
be.
Yeah.
You think you are now popular.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then now, as I grew up, I realized that not everybody is for me. Now, especially on things like Instagram, even if you know me, if I just feel like your energy is just not mine, I don't accept that follow request. If you, I don't know, I don't even just follow you just even if I've known you from high school, I've known you from childhood, I don't think I'd just allow you into my space. Because I made that mistake on Facebook, and then you see there is a time I was in a taxi, and then some guy was showing a girl's picture to someone, not knowing. And you know the thing with us South Sudanese, we are really few. I think we are like, they say we are 12 million, but I'm very sure we are like 5 or 6. So this guy was showing some other guy a picture of a girl, how that's the girlfriend, blah, blah, blah. And kumbe, some other girl who was sitting next to them knew that girl. Then the girl was like, yeah, I know this girl. The guy started stammering, and from then, I knew this one just got the picture from somewhere and then just started lying that what?
He knew the girl.
Exactly, he knows the girl. So this is how much harm we're exposing ourselves to. Now imagine someone takes my picture and starts saying things like that, and then someone who knows me sees someone who doesn't wish me well. So they go on carrying on the rumor, rejoices like that. So Z, I wanted to ask you, on that point of parents, what do you think? I don't want it to sound like an interview, Z.
No, just
okay.
it's banter. Come on, relax.
Okay, how do you think, what's, not root cause, it cannot be root cause. Okay, like, what do you think about gang groups in Juba? I don't want to say the cause.
Like, what
are the contributing, not even contributing, I want to relate it to parents.
To how like, basic upbringing sort of like finds you in such a predicament. Firstly, I would just like to double back, just to run it back slightly. I think cyberbullying and just bullying in general can sharpen you depending on perspective, or it can plummet you into exactly where the enemy wants to corner you. Because cyberbullying is like 10 people coming in a room and pushing you to the corner of the room. And if you don't have the capacity to get yourself out of that corner, because they physically can't put you in that corner, you know. But we've also seen that cyberbullying has become a thing that it's not just online anymore. Because even when you come offline, we've seen people who are stalking. People who stalk you, people who follow you, people who want to know what you're doing, where you're at, and things like that. And it puts you in a lot of risk. But still, on the other flip side, I think I've always been conflicted because I enjoy content creation. It's just something I enjoy. And when I'm doing it, undoubtedly, I'm conscious that there are people who don't, they're strangers, people who, I don't know, who don't wish me well. I've been in rooms where people didn't wish me well and I didn't know them. So I wouldn't be naive and think there are people who've never seen me in person and they don't feel some type of way about it. But I think I'd like the both of you to answer this before I answer the question. Is like, then how do you maneuver sort of like if God has called you to be exposed, but in the same capacity, maintaining your safeguards? Because personally, I also have accounts that are private, but in the same breath, I'm like, even those people who are within that private space, they can take out my content because it just takes screen recording, a screenshot. There's so many ways to like expose your content. I also feel like bullies have found a platform, like a way to quote unquote call it expression on social media. And we have a lot of projection where if I date one bad guy who so happened to be from this place or from this community, I'll start saying all people, or for instance, there's a narrative of, people from this community, all of them are promiscuous. So they're like that. So you're like, instead of saying John is bad, we come here and we start projecting. Then people start collecting how you felt about one John and applying it. We start applying principles of people and we don't have their experiences. Yours could be completely different. So that's kind of my question in essence is how does one maneuver between the two? Now, as for gang groups and parenting, I think it's a straight line from where I'm standing. It's always a straight line because I remember the last time when Byron was telling us how when scripture says it is your responsibility to leave an inheritance for your children. And many people will say, we don't have the same opportunities. And not all of us can do that. But whenever you choose to bring anyone into this world, you must know there's a responsibility. You are supposed to be a steward, whether you want to or you don't want to. And a lot of these young men find themselves in this predicament, even young women. Some of them are in gang groups, because I feel like there was no stewardship from the home. For instance, you live in a community, because we know that there's secondary and primary socialization. Primary is at home. What is mom doing to dad? There was recently, I was talking to a friend of mine, and she was telling me about Jose Chameleon. And they were saying that his wife used to be abused. Like, the wife was abused by him, and the child would see. So the child grew up observing these things, and many of the time we assume it's normal. So you go home, there's violence. You go to the streets, you're being told, as we don't have a bright future, we can rob people, we can steal, we can take advantage of girls. These girls think they're better than us. They think that, they come from good families. We can rape them. We can do whatever it is that we need to do by taking by force. Because all you need is fear. And the thing is, what you do to people is exactly what's inside of you. You are a mirror of yourself. When you're impacting harm, it's because you are also exposed to harm. So now you're just like, the same way you took from me, I'll take from you. Because it's not difficult. It's like when you're bullied, it's not difficult to do the same thing to someone else. If you learn it so well, you're like, for people to respect me, I should be unkind to them too. So I think, in essence, it's just the genesis. Like, what have you been exposed to? What has your environment exposed you to? Because there are some people who come from good families and they're still in gang groups. But what is exposure in the home that's created this environment for you to nurture it and accept it and become it? So yeah, those are my 2 cents.
Byron, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I think I'll speak on to the 2 questions that he has asked. The first one being, God has commissioned you to do something that needs you to be open.
Yeah.
The thing is, the way I think also the Bible says, Jesus tells you that he's sending you to the world, but you will find walls, something of that sort. But you see, you're going out there expecting that every comment, every reply, every need that you'll get positive will be positive. That is very wrong. If you're exposing yourself to a different crowd, to a different, let me say, people of different groups of thoughts, expect anything. Don't think that all that you'll receive is love. Even men of God, when they post sermons, there are people who will still be against the sermons. So don't go with the thought that you will only receive love. There will be people who will be waiting for you to post so that they can comment negatively. There are people who are just in social media to comment negativity on every post. There are people you will find on every post commenting negative things. So that is the first thing. And the second thing, what we talk about even last time when it comes to inheritance. You see, when you're talking about parents and the influence they give to the children. Inheritance, yes, there is a monetary thing, but there is also you can give your children values. And that also matters. Because you can leave them inheritance of money, but when it comes to values, they don't have the values that are right. So you'll find, yes, the children are rich. But actually, bullying is not just in schools or in institutions or places where it's only poor people.
It's valid.
You see?
Valid.
There are people who have money and they're still bullies. There are people who are in spaces where you wouldn't expect them to act in some kind of ways, but because they lack the right values were not instilled from home. Because I think that is the first school. Whatever we learn from home, it really shapes us. Because I believe if you're instilled with good values, you'll know that whatever these people are doing is not right.
Yeah.
Even if they're your friends and you see them bullying someone, you'll be like, no, this is not right. Because you have been instilled with good values straight from home. So I think that is the part that I think parents would play. Values, instilling even good values to the children really, really matters. It's not just about the monetary inheritance and everything, but even good values, character, what, yeah.
Okay. So on the two questions, let me begin with the first. You see, let me give you this scenario. I'm sure you came across this lady. I don't remember her name, but she posted her pictures, I think, around end of last year. And she received a lot of backlash. People were calling her ugly, things like that. And, they were talking down on her physical features.
I remember I saw it on Facebook.
Then her reply really struck a nerve for me. She was like, I know I'm not aesthetically a beautiful person, but then there is more to being a human than the physical. And she said her reply was so strong, so straightforward, but then so kind, not to herself only, but also to the people who are trying to talk down on her. And this made me realize something, that knowing yourself is very important. Knowing yourself, knowing your worth, I don't know, it just plays a big role. Because now, Rejoice, if I know and I accept myself, it doesn't matter if you come and tell me, oh, Rejoice, you're very black is ugly. It won't matter, because I know myself. I know who I was created to be. I know, So I feel like you just need to know yourself, believe in yourself, love yourself the way you are. It doesn't matter who comes and says whatever. It might have an impact. I'm not saying that you're not strong, or you don't know your worth if what someone says about you impacts you. It's totally normal. It's totally healthy. But you always just have to rise above it, because at the end of the day, so what? Really, so what if you think my head is big? So what if you think I am very dark, I am not beautiful? It doesn't add or reduce anything from me. And then on this thing of parents in relation to gang groups, there is something my mother once told me. She was like, she'll never go around boasting that, oh, I raised my children well, or I did this. Because as a parent, you tell your children what to do, but it's up to this child to follow what you told them or not. So tomorrow, when this child becomes successful, it's greatly because of who they chose to be or what path they chose to take when they were growing. Because as a parent, even if I tell you today, Rejoice, you have to, don't eat sugar. I'm going to go to work. And it's going to be you and God to decide whether you will eat from this sugar or you will leave it. So as much as parents play a huge role in raising us, I feel like we ourselves, we also have we have our part to play. But with this thing of gang groups, let me give you these examples here. There is this boy in our area. This boy, he is I don't know if he was born like that, but he doesn't have limbs, no legs, no hands. No, he just doesn't have the lower limbs, the legs. And this boy, he's such a good boy. But then these kids in these gang groups, they have forced this kid to join them, and the mom can go. She will go and cry. You people leave my child alone, he cannot run. But if you people start cutting yourselves with pangas, how will my son run? And every time she goes, she gets her son and she brings him home. These boys will still target this boy when he's coming from school to come and what? To come and I don't know. I think they want to scare him into joining. And if you see, most of the kids who have joined, they'll tell you the same stories. And you know that they pay to join these gangs. You pay their requirements that you have to
meet,
to bring. I hear a machete, a what. And I don't even know how to explain to you. Like, it's just beyond you, the parents. Because I've even had stories where children are the ones going to cut their parents with pangas.
Yeah.
Drug abuse. Drug abuse has been a huge factor in this. Because some of these kids, they will cut people, and then later on they will come and realize it. I have done this. Yet I didn't even, I didn't have the, I don't know. Like, I wasn't the consciousness. So I think that's what I think about it.
A question. Have any of you experienced bullying at the place of work?
At the place of work, yes.
Now, at places of work, it's more like politics.
No, there is bullying.
Yes, they bully you, but then the bullying at workplaces, it's not like direct. They will always try to do something.
Some are direct.
I've
I've
experienced
never
direct
experienced,
bullying.
but some are direct.
It's like I've gone to the school of bullying. but
Some are
what?
direct.
See, like someone will come. Okay, what type of bullying at places of work?
Personally, I've not experienced, but I've read stories and people have complained that. You see, just the way I'd come. There are people with this one that you're saying someone is telling you that even they're just. I don't know what exactly you are saying you have experienced. Maybe highlight to us
Yes,
what you have
tell us
experienced.
what you've experienced.
Like I can say, you might find there's a supervisor, there's someone who fears you
You're
are
rising.
good or you are rising or you're better than him in a
Yeah.
particular
Oui.
task. So they'll make sure they do things to make you feel like you are not capable, or they might even from what I've heard, will
Sabotage.
even tell you directly. Some will even tell you think you can get my position, you won't get it. There are those.
Me-
I remember there's a friend who even now moved totally to Kenya. First, because she rose to a very high level in an NGO here. Those people frustrated her properly. Till someone is telling you directly, you are not from this country. How can you get this position? No. But you're qualified, that's why you got it.
But me, I think now that you've talked about it, I think I've ever experienced it. I've ever had someone at work. This guy would just shout at people, like, everybody makes mistakes, and there are these tiny mistakes. He would just start shouting, it is not done like that. Hey, it is not done.
Yeah.
That.
I just told him, sir, this is not your home. I don't know where I got that courage from. I just told him, this is not your home. You want to talk to me respectfully. It's not a market. It's not your house. It's not your house for you to be shouting at people. Come and talk to me properly, in a very proper
In a work,
tone.
yeah.
Because this is not your home to start shouting at people. Hey, you.
And there's no your child here.
Hey, and I'm not your child to start shouting at me like that. And we have also women who do that. Like issues to do with the dress code. Find someone calling someone through the window. You, the way you're dressed. Go home.
And that's bullying, actually.
You
It
can't
actually
be
is.
shouting at someone like that. Okay, if her dress code is not proper, call her to the side.
But according to who?
No, according to the workplace policy. Sometimes there are some people, let's say here they don't allow maybe jeans, and someone comes with jeans. You can just call them to the side, please. This is not allowed here. And there are so many ways to correct someone. You can just shout, you, come, why are you dressed like that? We are not at home. You're not my mother. And this is it's not your private business for you to be shouting at me like that.
I don't want to be hypocritical, but I really admire that. I feel like for me, I can be very toned down because my idea in the workplace is the main reason Astra is here is I know what I'm here for. I'm here to get a paycheck, and there are certain nuances that you have with regards to that. So the probability, even before I get to the point where I'm like, no, I think for me, the only two places that I worked at where I was bullied, there was no in between. There was I didn't have any other job to go back to, but it reached the epitome of, I couldn't, it's either I leave or I leave.
Because
Yeah.
most of the time, mostly you hear it with ladies, not to say that men don't go through it, but at the places of work. Maybe your seniors trying to, or having sexual advances
Yes.
through you.
Yeah.
But they use their power now to bully you into
Make it
accepting,
difficult, yeah.
getting into relationships with them. Nowadays, you hear even men facing the same, but mostly it's with the ladies.
the
Such
ladies.
things.
And it's
you find
because
your
you're
superior
vulnerable.
something.
It's because as a woman you're vulnerable. Because sometimes they can make you stay late at work and everybody else is leaving and they don't want you to, especially
be told-
unfortunately someone like me is like, but so you're afraid internally because if you lock us in this office, clearly one of us is going to leave harmed and it's not him. And sorry for interrupting, let me just get it out of my chest. But I feel like also sometimes it's very important for you to know your value even if you're working for someone. Because realistically, superiors in any shape, way or form, or people who have been in an organization longer than you, have the capacity to want to devalue you intentionally, especially at the onset. They really want to make you feel like you don't have value, I'm value, and you're not. And it's very important for you to remind them, I'm not desperate. Because I think one of the first times I experienced I was bullied and I was drugged. Like they literally drugged my drink, and they just make work hell. They'd always be like, oh, it's her who did this, or it's her mistake, she didn't do this, or you have to do that. And I think the other scenario was just misplaced work chores. Like your boss is, like she said, he's yelling at you and asking you to do things that he doesn't want you to do, or like,
Or that you're not supposed to do.
yeah.
It's not
It's not within
part
the
of your
contract, and then they deduct
part
your
of
salary.
JD, something of that sort. I'll go back to one thing. What you've said, desperation mostly is also what leads you to subject yourself to such spaces and tolerate such things.
Yeah.
And also not knowing your value and just not knowing who you are. Me, as I told you from the beginning, I'm very proud. I always say I'm very proud.
Pride is the key.
Some people say it's bad. Pride is not bad. It's how you use it is what it is what determines if it's bad. But you need to be proud of yourself to the point that no one will ever make you feel that you're less
Than a
or
human.
no one will ever try to use anything against, like, hey, I always say, I don't know, maybe I think I'm just, I don't know, because I'm sitting here trying to remember, have I ever experienced such things? Maybe it's the fact that I'm always ready for it. That's why I never feel like I've experienced it. Because if you try it and I feel like, here is where we are going, we move together. we move together.
Like, can I ask, because you said you're knowing your value. Now, this is a season of desperation. You've not been in work for years. You get this job. It's one of those NGO jobs. You know the salary is one thing. And your team knows, and because most of the time when people bully you, they know your capacity is beyond. There's no way you're going to bully someone that's beneath you. There's wasted time, wasted energy. What would you tell such a person?
I love what you're saying. They know your capacity is beyond. They know you are important there. And once you yourself, you know you are actually important there, you won't allow anyone to bully you.
So
because you are needed there.
But you don't have that.
You see, the thing is desperation.
Yes,
you
Byron.
feel like if I leave this job, I'll not get another one.
That's true.
That is what will cause you to just sit down and accept whatever is they bring your way. And may I always say, if you're desperate to that point, maybe I'll circle back to, you don't know your value in that place. If you know your value, you'll stand up to whatever they are bringing. If they are going to use intimidation to push you out, let it not be by you just sitting down and waiting for them to do it. Because if they're doing it because they want to put you down, they'll make you now even underperform, and you'll still be fired because of underperforming.
So the purpose, you won't even be fired because of bullying. It'll be because of the effects of the bullying.
So the thing is, don't even let it get to that point where you start having side effects of the bullying. Like, don't just, may I say, unless you don't know your value, unless you know whatever they're saying is true, you're not up to the task. But may I say, you hired me because you looked at my resume, you looked at my CV, and you know I can do this work. Then someone who did not hire me, someone who's just a fellow staff wants to show me I'll say it in Kiswahili, tutapelekana.
We go.
Like,
I've understood.
I always say, I don't know. I think God has given me a different character. I always say I don't fear walking out of anything. I don't fear.
Byron.
I don't fear, because if I'm up to the, like, hey, me, I always say, like,
let's speak Arabic. What is wrong with you? The way he's looking
I
at
always
me.
say, like, I've walked out of a job because we agree. I don't want to say whether it's bullying or what, but we agree, as we're starting with this pay, but after this couple of months, we're increasing the pay. That is our agreement, right? I'm the one who is
pushing.
Who is like your store manager. I'm the one who is like your accountant, because it was, I was working for another woman. She was bringing bales from Turkey, and now to a go down, I was the one who was managing the go down. Actually, I was the only one there. Because when the people come from Gikomba, the traders, they come with lorries with their people. They'll just tell me, we want this. We have already called madam. We want 40 bales of this, what. They carry, they put in the lorry. They give me, if they have paid in the bank, well, if not, they give me cash, even 300,000 Kenya shillings.
Yeah.
Then I'll pick this money, go deposit in the bank. So like I'm seeing in daily, I'm cashing a lot of money. I have no issue because we have agreed after this one. Then we agreed, it reaches to a point. One, you're delaying with my payment. Yet money is coming through me daily.
Yeah.
You cannot tell me that you're not getting money. Because you're bringing stocks and I'm seeing them moving daily properly. Okay, the time lapses, you start bringing stories. I just, that day I calculated, I tried talking to her, I calculated. The next day I just called her. I texted her actually in the evening. Tomorrow I'm not coming back. I did not show back. But, now, it was a referral through my grandma, knew I don't know who, what. Now she started circling back with those people. They're trying to talk. But at times she's like that, erratic because of... I told them, my problem is once I've walked away from such situations, I don't go back.
Yeah.
Because now, if she did not know my value at that time, right now is when she'll know it. And actually will now be working under tension because of what happened. I told them I'm not going back. Funnily enough, up to nowadays, she opened an agency of work, so she sends me messages. If people who want to go work, I don't know. I told her it's okay, it's cool. But I always say, I walk out. You don't fear. The problem is desperation. Now, if I walk out today,
What will I
where
do?
will I get another job?
Yeah.
My friend, if you know yourself.
We need to have a class on knowing yourself. I feel like
You know
that's...
yourself.
Yeah.
But then the thing is, I feel like especially with things like office settings, you just have to, I don't know, you have to know, not even know, you have to study people. These things, back in the day, I used to walk into spaces and just pick the people that I think I would like. You don't do that in offices. Nobody's your friend.
True.
Actually, in corporate spaces, people are snakes.
Exactly, that's the thing.
Snakes.
I have stopped even making friends at work, because
no, we are just
when you
just be workmates.
Exactly,
not friends.
Not like
One of the realities, sorry, please don't forget the interjection. This common saying, they used to be like, these are your, how the hierarchy, these are not your friends, these are your work, these are workmates, these are associates. Don't, let me, that's a story time for
Continue.
another
And then,
day.
I used to go to work and I pick people, these are the people I want to talk to. This one I don't think that. My dear, you go to a workplace, make sure you study people. Be as strategic as you can be, because work politics, office politics are real. And I feel like I don't want to be put in a position where I have to walk away from my job. If you present me with this is our future plan, Jehovah, you're hearing it. If you present me with a challenge, I've seen people who work, who I don't know, who maneuver through problems and then put their bullies in the middle of it. And you're like, how did this person pull this off? I remember there is a time when this lady, she was that time I was volunteering with them. So this girl, I think she had an issue with her supervisor. She was an elderly woman. She didn't like this girl. And then she used to say, you don't submit these things. What are they called? Your reports on time, things like that. Kumbe, this lady, she was noting down every time she would submit, She was noting down and she was like taking screenshots of every time she would
Send the work.
send. So one time we're having a meeting with the ED. So, and the woman started complaining about how staff don't submit their reports on time. And everybody could feel it that they are talking about this lady. My Lord, when this lady started talking, I said, with evidence. By the way, and she didn't attack her directly. It was in a professional manner. The other report, it delayed for 2 weeks, and that's why this and this couldn't happen. And everything, every challenge we were having in the project circled around that old woman. And up to now, I don't know if this woman can forgive that guy, because everyone in the office was like, So, and it got to a point where we also believed that this girl was the problem.
Yeah.
Imagine, like everybody, she was my friend, and I would sometimes be like, this girl, she's my friend, but then this woman is also right. This girl is not doing her work well, also. It's also on her end. But then when she came and said those things, and she didn't even say them behind her back. She said it like when the ED and everybody responsible, all managers are there watching. And it just made me, I don't know how I didn't realize this sooner. Like, you just have to also be, I don't know. There is a word in Arabic called makir. Do you know how a fox is? You have to be like
Sly.
And one thing you see in like such spaces, let people know you well. Like let them know this is someone who doesn't take BS. Full stop. Hey, let's laugh together, but we know there are boundaries. But you see, the thing is, you want to be friends with everyone.
That's true. And you don't
They
want-
take advantage. But when people know, with this one, I cannot cross here, some respect will be there.
But I think for me, that's what I think I'm learning now. I think I've been exposed to very many spaces where the presumption was just that we can all kumbaya until you see someone's snake. Like you see somebody show you that if you go, for instance, when you go for corporate events, you really see people's true colors. If quote unquote important people, like someone who you want to like chase the bag with, comes into the space, there's a way they show you, I'm not going to include you in this. I don't want you in this. I like it when you're under me. I like it when I feel like I'm the one who has jurisdiction over you. And you know that you get like the scraps. You know how you just give a dog the bones
crumbs
that you don't want, but you never really tell it, you know what, come, let's sit together at the table. And then you see the people that they eat at the table with. And that's when you learn. And I do, even as I think we're about to round off. Also, I think there's also subliminal bullying, which is, I've learned of late, it's like an exposure. I think bullying tells you also where you can hit and where the person's weakness is. And what I mean is, I've seen a lot of bosses who, they want to demean you, or they want people to know you work for me. I don't know if you like, they want it when people are there, they're like, you.
Yes.
There are people who want to be seen like they're the ones on top, like they're
like,
the eats.
I'm the one in control.
And
I'm
this
the
one
one who
is
tells-
just like they do it so openly that you see they're trying to communicate something.
But very subliminally. And then they'll try and like endorse it by being like a pat on. They give you like a dog pat. Like, you work so well with me, but then it's
just trying
it's
to
like,
show
I own
to
you.
show people that this one.
But
I
then
own you.
There is one thing that I've noticed with Junubin, South Sudanese especially. With a Ugandan, I would know that, I'd see it coming. But with South Sudanese, they will laugh with you, they will eat with you. And we have this very warm, I don't know if foreigners experience it, but with the fellow South Sudanese, they are very warm, very generous, very welcome. But see, once an opportunity lands,
They'll show you.
hey,
Yeah, I've seen it
See.
firsthand.
I want to tell you, like, let's say if, like, we are 5 people in this room, if there is an opportunity, they will just laugh with you, and you just find yourself alone in the room, everybody. And you're like, how did you get this opportunity? We were laughing together yesterday. We were eating together a while ago.
And they
How?
always like to create the impression of naivety. They like to play dumb. They're like, no,
Exactly.
we're in this together. No, I'm shy. But we know you've been plotting and scheming. We know.
And then the opportunity comes, to have gotten it, and you didn't even know that there was an opportunity.
And then they're always growing. By then, if in case you haven't noticed, especially the workspace, they have always grown. They have done like 10, 50 jobs. Like them, they have elevated their skills in the same environment, but you're still doing the same
The
thing
same
you
thing.
did from the moment you came.
If you are the one who got to know about that opportunity, you would have shared with them.
Yeah.
That's what, like, there's time I was I was working somewhere, and then there was an opportunity that came for a training. I shared with everybody, apply, do this. Then at the end of the day, and corruption, of course, in South Sudan, everybody got their name in the list. Only me and my friend who introduced the rest to this. Like, everybody else got their name on the list. Nobody tried to tell me, hey, Rejoice, you have to go and talk to so-and-so, you have to have... Nobody, and then they were like, hey, And everybody was just giving excuses, and that is when I was like, Rejoice, you're in this alone. Nobody here is your friend.
Valid. In the workspace, realistically, even with your friends, I think you just need to vet, because envy seeps in very subtly. When somebody starts to feel some type of way about you growing, it doesn't start obviously. It just starts with the little things. So, oh, you always get what you want. Oh, you got this opportunity. Oh, you, when you need to. It's so small, but it builds such a mountain. And by the time you're realizing they're already on the other side, you stopped at Mount Ararat, but they went to Canaan and they left you.
In addition to that, there's also this aspect that nowadays I see. Do you feel that parents also bully their children?
Yeah. I feel like
There's been that.
yes.
I've heard of it of late.
Parents do, because most of these kids who come and bully outside, they reflect what their parents have done to them. No, in whatever, especially here, I've seen it several times, and I'm like, why would you say that to your child? You see, like when a child does something, a mother will start up insulting the child, or insulting the child's father, or again even insulting the child's mother, not knowing she's the mother. And I'm like, why would you do that?
I've seen of ladies speaking and confessing that, because nowadays, we are a generation where people are really open.
Yeah.
People don't care. So ladies coming to confess that I hate my mom. I hate that woman. What she subjected me to through as a teen. So you'll find, like, just an example, you'll find a lady saying that maybe her mother never allowed her to dress some particular kind of way, not because it's indecent, but because her feeling that she never got the opportunity to do that.
So she's limiting her own
So
child.
she's limiting, or maybe she'll now even not physically abuse, but abuse your
Emotional abuse.
Not emotional, but abuse you. I want to put it like talking about your physical appearance in a negative way,
Yeah.
just to make you feel that you are not beautiful, even if you are. But it's the fact, like, they're trying to project whatever they went through to the
you.
child.
Yeah.
And you hear this is something that is really happening. A woman or a mother telling the child, now you think you're so beautiful. Men are after you. What. Not because the lady is doing anything bad, but it's just because of her own insecurities. Now she projects it to the lady, till you find that there are women who say, ladies now who come out and say they're still battling self-esteem, and it's not because they got it from anywhere, but from their own parents, or even mothers or fathers, because of what they went through.
I mean, I'm really trying to, like, I don't know if fortunately, actually, just looking from my perspective on the matter, I haven't seen a lot of, like, parental abuse, but I have heard of it, and I'm grateful to God that it didn't come from my home. But I think that's why we bring it back. Sometimes even when I see elderly women still trying to prove a point, still trying to prove that they're beautiful, still trying to prove that they're still in the market. I don't actually think it's a midlife crisis for all women. I honestly believe that they still hear what they were told as children, like, you're not beautiful enough. And in as much as we don't, bleaching is such a taboo conversation, I honestly believe that most girls who don't feel beautiful in their own skin, and I'm not speaking about it because people create the assumption of, because you're light, you don't understand our struggles, and honestly it's dumb, is that you are told because of this thing, is that's why you didn't produce this product. It's because if I'm not tall enough, that's why I didn't produce this product. And it's just the things that are nitpicked about you. And I think we need to learn that consistency is what breaks your self-esteem. Someone can tell you once you're not beautiful and you move on about they're strangers, but then they build real estate in your mind. John said it, Alice said it, Mary said it, Peter said it. It starts to build real estate. And the foolishness is nobody says, is it true? nobody asks themselves first, is it true? But it's, if the majority say it, must be true. And I think we really need to stop allowing what is the actual truth, you know. So I think it's very unfortunate, and for like people who've encountered that and are still trying to build that, because I just don't want to say too much, because you also don't want to feel like things people told you in confidence you're saying it, but it's such an unfortunate thing.
But you know, it hurts the most because it's coming from your parents.
From your parents.
Those are the people who are supposed to protect you. It's like you're in a bubble, but then they are killing you from inside the bubble. The heart is no longer coming from outside.
And that's why it
It's from
stings.
inside the bubble. The
The
bubble.
home.
So I think it's something that we, as Africans, we really try to hide away from it, but it's happening. Even parents are bullying their children.
But me, this one,
And
I
actually,
really
it's
see
too
it.
much. Maybe we might think, it's disciplining. No.
It's too much.
Most of it is leaving a very negative impact on the lives of, and mostly it's with the millennials.
I also, sorry, can I just give an example? Yeah, because
Mostly-
Gen Zs are very woke. You can't
Well,
be telling
yeah.
them that
Gen Z,
foolish stuff.
they're very open. They'll notice and they'll
We are
speak
Gen Zs,
out,
but-
and
But
they won't accept it. But
we are
with
Gen Z.
millennials,
Yeah. No, but we are-
millennials were raised to not talk back,
Stomach it.
to stomach it. You know, whatever my mom is saying, this is not, but you
But
cannot
you-
talk back to your mom. You cannot talk
'Cause if
back to
this-
your dad. So you just stomach it. Later in life is when you realize you have trauma out of it.
But parents
Byron,
are
let me
also-
interject. But I feel like how you know it's a millennial thing is because there's also bullying from siblings. Because the things that they didn't receive or what was passed on to them, they now want to push it on you and be like, it's unfair. They start to also talk to you like, oh, you're so selfish, or you think you're all this, you think, because they had to give. I feel like, honestly, okay, from where I'm standing, you don't, the lower you are in the family chain, you don't have to give as much as the people who came earlier. But it's like the people earlier still haven't wrapped their head around the fact that there's technology now. Like there's AI, and that time there was no AI. And also another thing I'd say about parents, maybe that I'd say for bullying, we talk about it so lightly, but the whole concept of, particularly for women, is why, like, you're still in your mother's house. Why can't you leave my house? Why is it that you're not the one who hasn't gotten married? This whole conversation of marrying is actually bullying. You're bullying your child out of your home. Why are we like this?
But me with the siblings part, me, I don't think I really, me and my siblings, we used to say mean things to each other, but then we laugh at it. Like, it wasn't that serious, but it's not like now. In our area, I see there is this cousin of mine recently, she told her child, I think the boy did something, and she was like, useless. Me, I thought, like, you're the one who's useless. This boy is not useless. I talked back to her, and I see it with a lot of women in South Sudan. Like, you find a woman telling, like, they insult the children, and I'm like, why would you do? Just cane the child, okay? If he has done something so grave, just cane him.
But these days people are caning to death. Like,
No,
it's
it's
not
not-
the normal
There is
caning.
caning and there is beating. Cane the child. Don't beat the child.
Sorry. Sorry.
You cane them. You don't beat them.
Yes, you just cane. You don't have to say all these things. And you know, it has become so natural that it just comes when she's like slapping you like that. And the words just come out of their mouths just naturally. And sometimes you find someone abusing in Arabic. I don't want to say it, but it's like cursing your mother. Eh? You find a mother cursing the child's mother. Yet it's you who is the mother. And I'm like, what do you mean?
Bullying
But
is
anyway,
crazy.
Bullying, me as a parting shot, I think bullying is not cool. And I don't know whoever does it now and you think, oh, I'm cool because I think I'm better than this person and I'm making them feel like I'm better than this person.
Yeah.
It's not cool and it looks foolish. Like, I look at bullies and I'm like, how are you so dumb? How are you so stupid? Like, why would you do something like that? And it's beyond annoying. And I feel like there is so much beauty in kindness. Like, I don't know, kindness is like my favorite word. Being kind, gentle. Even if you're a loud person, you can still be gentle. I feel like I'm loud, but I'm gentle. Am I not? Byron and
We will comment beside.
Like, there is so much beauty in being all these positive things. Like, you don't gain anything from being negative
Yeah.
to yourself or to people around you. And what you do reflects what is inside you. If you're ugly on the outside, my sister or my brother.
All right. What I have to say is that women love each other. 1. 2, bullying is uncouth. It is uncalled for. And anyone that partakes in it showcases that indeed an idle mind is a devil's workshop. So let's do better and create a safer, lovable, habitable environment for each and every one of us.
So this is the thing what I'll say. If you're someone out there who bullies people, you need to sit down and look at yourself. Work on your traumas. There's something wrong with you. Unknowingly, there's something wrong with you. Work on yourself. And what I'll say, if you really know yourself, if you really know your value, you should never allow anyone to bully you unless you really don't understand your position. And as I said at the beginning, my friend, put your pride, I don't know where, on top of the sky. Be proud. Even if, I always say, even if I'm in spaces where I know the people around here maybe have money more than me, are more educated more than me, it won't make me feel intimidated. I'll always be proud because I know I'm at the best place for myself. Them, they reach there in their own time, in their own way. I'll also maybe reach there, but for now, I won't feel intimidated because I'm not at that level at this particular time. So no one will ever make me feel less of myself.
And I already said that bullying is bad. Oh, yes. You see, there are scenarios where, this is a parting shot, please, we're not beginning again, where you see someone who is at fault, who has been corrected by a woman, goes around spreading rumors. Oh, this woman doesn't like this. This woman doesn't like women. And I've seen that such scenarios have been the ones that are loudest. So now many people think women don't like women. Me as a woman, I like women. I'm not a lesbian, but then I support women. And in whatever way or in whichever platform I get to, I always try to support and uplift other women. And women actually love women. We've just been told that we hate each other, but we actually don't. So Etama spread love. Women or men love each other, regardless of the gender. And Byron has already angered me. So guys, thank you so much for being here up to now. Follow, like, subscribe, everything. See you next time. I hope you have a lovely weekend. Z and Byron.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Wahid itne Telata.
Why settle for 2
when third time is the charm?
Welcome to the tripod.